The Silver Bowl of Dreams. In the sunny year of 1900, a young man named Dwight had a dream that was much bigger than a tennis court. He loved the game of tennis, with its rhythmic thwack and pop, but he wanted something more. He wanted to see the best players from every corner of the globe compete for a single, magnificent prize. Dwight spent his afternoons at Harvard University, swinging his racket and imagining a world united by sport. Dwight didn't want to go on this adventure alone. He sought out his best friend and teammate Holcomb. "Imagine it, Holcomb," Dwight exclaimed, gesturing wildly with his gloved hands. "A tournament where nations play against nations. We shall invite the greatest champions from across the sea." Holcomb leaned on his own racket, his eyes widening with excitement as he listened to Dwight's grand plan. To make the tournament real, they needed a trophy that would make hearts race. Dwight visited a local craftsman named Mr. Sterling. "I need something grand," Dwight explained, sketching in the air. "A bowl so large and so shiny that it reflects the spirit of the game." Mr. Sterling tapped his chin, his mustache twitching with inspiration, and promised to create the most beautiful silver bowl the world had ever seen. Weeks later, the trophy was finished. Dwight and Holcomb stood in awe as the sun hit the polished metal. It wasn't just a cup, it was a massive, ornate silver punch bowl. "It's perfect," Holcomb whispered, his reflection wobbling on the silver surface. They decided to call the competition the International Lawn Tennis Challenge. But in their hearts, they already knew it would be known by Dwight's last name. The call for the challenge was answered. A team from across the ocean arrived, led by a dashing player named Arthur. Arthur stepped off the ship with a confident stride, his racket tucked under his arm. He met Dwight at the docks with a firm, friendly handshake. "We have come for your silver bowl, Dwight," Arthur said with a wink. The stage was set for the very first match. As the day of the match approached, the American team gathered to practice. Dwight's teammate Malcolm joined them on the grass. Malcolm was nervous, his knees knocking together like a pair of castanets. What if we lose the bowl on its very first day? Malcolm fretted. Dwight patted him on the back, offering a confident smile that calmed his friend's jittery nerves. The match began under a bright, cheering sun. Dwight took to the court, his feet moving like lightning. Every time he hit the ball, it seemed to stretch and squash through the air. The crowd gasped as he leaped high, his body curving like a bow, to deliver a powerful serve. The game was fast, frantic, and filled with the joyful energy of a cartoon come to life. The British team fought hard, returning every ball with grace. Holcomb found himself in a long rally, dancing across the grass. He dived for a low shot, his racket just barely grazing the ball. With a bowing sound, the ball soared over the net, landing exactly on the white line. The crowd erupted in cheers as Holcomb tumbled into the grass, laughing and covered in green stains. After hours of play, the final point was won. Dwight and Holcomb embraced on the court, their faces glowing with victory. They had won the very first challenge. Arthur walked over, not with a frown, but with a smile of respect. The silver bowl wasn't just a prize for the winners. It was a symbol of the friendship that had grown between the players during the heat of the game. Dwight looked at the magnificent silver bowl and realized his dream had come true. It didn't matter who held the trophy.